Hello everyone. You are watching Exploring Your Emotions. What kind of emotions do we have when we need assistance? Either we're sick, or we have no place to really go, or we need assistance physically or emotionally. We need assistance. So the answer probably would be, hey, let's go to an assisted living place. That's very important because that's where we're going to get the assistance that we need. Certainly, we don't go there unless we know that we're incapacitated in one way or the other. Well, today I think that we're very fortunate to have a young lady who is going to talk to us about assisted living and what her role is there and what it really is. Okay? It's very important. It's called not a nursing home. It's a home for assisted living, which means assistance. Beth, say hello to our large audience, and you will have to tell us some answers to certain questions, please.
Good evening. Thank you, Dr. Rothberg, for having me here today so I can talk about assisted living.
Actually, what, in your view, is assisted living?
Assisted living is a senior residence community where people come and have their own apartment and can live independently, but if they need assistance with the activities of daily living, those services are available on site for residents. It's a great option when people are looking to downsize from a large home or to downsize from an apartment or coming from out of state, even they're coming from Florida and they want to be closer to the family, they can move into an assisted living home.
What is the name of your assisted living home, and does it accept all kinds of insurance? I think you need to tell our public or our audience that.
The name of our residence is the Regency at Glen Cove, and we do accept insurance. The only type of insurance that's really accepted in a licensed assisted living home is long-term care insurance. You know, Medicare does not pay, Medicaid does not pay, because those insurances cover a home where there's medical care. And since we're a social model and not a medical model, those insurance don't cover. But if you have your own private insurance or Medicare, that does pay for any medical services that are delivered on site. Doctors come to the community and they can use their insurance for that purpose.
Very interesting. I bet we didn't know any of that. So what do the residents do for, let us say, social activities? Because it must be boring just to sit there. I'm sure you have so many activities that keeps them out of boredom. Can you tell us a few of those?
They are very, very busy. Even when they're out of the building with their families, they keep saying they have to go home because they're looking at the calendar of activities because we keep them so busy. They start out with breakfast in the morning, and directly after breakfast, we have an exercise program. And after exercise, we do trivia and we do current events. This way it keeps everybody with their mind stimulated. And of course, there's bingo, the #1 game. It's every day, and we have to have bingo sometimes in the evening as well. After lunch, we do a lot of cognitive brain functioning games. We do a word game. We do Scrabble games. We do Wii games for bowling and for golf and racehorsing. They really, really enjoy that, and arts and crafts programs. And aside from just these particular activities, we do a lot of theme parties, birthday parties, Wild West parties, Cinco de Mayo parties. We have, if it's Chocolate Lovers Day or strawberry festivals that we have, we keep everybody very busy. And then if they want to go out on excursions, we have our own bus to go on trips in the community too. We go to museums, the theater, and luncheons. There's something for everyone.
Sounds like I'm ready. Sounds like just the perfect place. Well, let me ask you this. What is included in their monthly rate or their monthly price? I'm sure that they have to pay by the month. So give me an idea as to, if I wanted to go into an assisted living place, what, where, and what would I do? And what would my monthly price include?
Well, your monthly price includes your apartment, At the Regency, our apartments are fully furnished, and I'm very excited to say that we've just renovated all of our rooms. So now you're going to have crown molding, and we have plush wall-to-wall carpeting. We have drapery in the living room. We have a matching drapery and comforter set in the bedroom area. We have brand new kitchen cabinets and bathroom cabinets with granite tops on them, and the response has been overwhelming how beautiful the rooms are. So in your room, like I'm saying, fully furnished. You have housekeeping on a daily basis. You have laundry and linen service. It includes 3 meals a day in our beautiful dining room. It includes transportation to and from doctors, although doctors do come to the building. It includes all your social activities, and it also includes our wellness office, ordering your medication and managing all of your health care all in one place.
That's an awful lot. It really is. If you think about organizing, just for the fun of it, can you tell our audience what is it that you do with all of this going on?
I'm the executive director of the Regency, and I've been there for 17 years, and we've been in business for 20 years. And I must tell you that the tenure of my staff is very similar. I have staff that have been there for 18 to 20 years. So I think it really says a lot for who we are and how happy we are in our job, and have made the Regency our home away from home, and the residents really as family members to all of us.
Give us some price tags as to how much this would cost. Give us an idea about price. That's very, very important. Suites beginning 1 or 2 bedroom suites, what's that all about?
We have different 5 different accommodations. We have studio starting at $45.50, and our largest room is a deluxe 1-bedroom that is $54.40. That's about over 650 square feet with walk-in closets. So the rooms are very large. We also just started having availability of shared accommodations that started $29.95.
Okay, that means that, let's say, 2 girls can move in and share an apartment. That's very interesting, because that would make it easier for them financially on each end. Am I correct?
Yes.
I think so. Okay, now, what about dressing, showering? Let us say there are people in wheelchairs, and that there are people that cannot always help themselves. What are the accommodations included over
Upon
there?
admission, every resident is given a personal evaluation, so we can determine what level of care and what services they need. Their services can change at any time also, because you may be coming back from a rehabilitation center, or you may have come back from a hospitalization, and you may need more services until you get stronger and have additional physical therapy on site as well. So the service is all available through our wellness department. We have 24-hour home health aides and CNAs and a nurse available to perform all of these services as needed. You have dressing, you can have bathing, you can have help with transferring and mobility, you can have someone bring you to all of the activities and bring you to the dining room. There's people to help you do all of your personal hygiene as well.
Now, how often do the doctors come to the Regency? You mentioned physical therapists, okay? That's very interesting, because a lot of physical therapists don't come to facilities. They're expected for the patient to come there. So that's very interesting. Also, what about the doctors? Who comes to the Regency to help the particular people, and what do they do?
Doctors come to the building once a week. We have primary care physicians that come to the building, as well as specialists also, psychologists, psychiatrists. We have vascular doctor. We have the foot doctor that also comes. We have visiting nurse services available as well. If somebody needs that to be continued, you know, they may have a medical issue, or they may need wound care that can be managed at our home. We also do blood work and x-rays. We make everything very simple, and all of the information is brought back to the Regency, so we can have a comprehensive program in health care for the residents.
Now, what should happen if, in case, someone there has a heart attack, TIA, or some kind of a stroke of some sort? Who would be there, let us say, at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning for somebody there who will need assistance to get over to Glen Cove Hospital as quickly as possible? And how does that happen?
We have 24-hour care, And the floors are checked throughout the evening. There's certain residents that are on a program that they get checked throughout the evening as well. There's an emergency call system in the rooms, and it is manned 24 hours at the front desk. So in event of any emergency, our staff is there on site. They go to the resident's room, they make an evaluation, and if, God forbid, you're saying they may have had a heart attack, they are sent to the hospital. 911 emergency call, the paperwork is filled out, someone stays with them until the ambulance comes, and then the family is called to let them know that this has been done.
It's quite a job you have. It's not simple. It's complex, and it has a great deal of responsibilities attached to it. Let me ask you this. What about Thanksgiving, Christmas, traditional Christian, Jewish, Greek holidays? How is that encompassed?
So wonderful, because we say when you're at the Regency, you're never alone, because all of these holidays are celebrated with all traditional meals. Families are invited to come celebrate with residents. Beautiful dining room. Everything is very beautifully decorated, and all the holidays we do toasts, to say to everyone, aren't you so lucky to have an extended family? It's so very, very special that you're never alone. Especially a lot of families travel on the holidays, and sometimes residents are not well enough to go out or go a distance to their families. Sometimes they're even going to their houses, and they may have a staircase to go up that they're not able to do. So it's wonderful that they're always with people on these wonderful, wonderful special occasions.
Very interesting, because many times in other places, they would not have all of these particular facilities that will ring true to what you're talking about. Is it also possible for, this is an interesting question, possible for people who need a monthly stay or a weekly stay? Can you explain that?
We do have these type of short stay programs. We call it a respite program. And whatever the monthly rate is, we break it down into a daily rate, and people can come stay for short-term visits. Because we have a license from the Department of Health, they would, of course, need to fill out all the paperwork, whether they were there for a week or they were there for a year. They'd still have to have all the necessary documentation. So no matter what the issue is, if there's any, God forbid, any medical emergency, we'd have all their information, we'd have their diagnosis, we'd know what medications they're on. We want to just make sure that everybody is safe and secure.
Now, shopping sprees. Where would buses be rented to go to different shopping places where these people can divert away from the assisted living Regency to somewhere else? What facilities do we have that are available to that?
Our residents absolutely love shopping. We have our own bus. So we go to the mall, we go to Macy's, we go to Target, we go to Walmart, we go to Lord & Taylor. That is their favorite event, is to go shopping. Aside from that, we probably have vendors probably 3 times a month at the Regency as well, so they're able to pick up all kinds of gift items. This is very dangerous for me because they always set themselves up right in front of my office, so I can't walk past them without having to shop myself. Some of my best findings and most beautiful jewelry was purchased at the Regency.
As it's good points. Now, my question here is also, do you have people coming in, especially like psychologists? What do you find to be one of the most important areas of concern that these people have, being that they have a second type of family involved with their, with the people that are there? It's sort of a second type of family where at least they have friends that share the same common things. What do the psychologists actually find to be the most important difficulties these people have?
I think just downsizing, maybe leaving your home where you probably have lived for more than 50 years and you're in a completely new environment is a very big adjustment. And the fact that you don't feel as independent as you have in the past, that also is very big adjustment. So, the psychiatrist usually works with the residents to set goals for them in this new setting, to help them to adjust in every way they can and to understand that it's acceptable, these changes that they're going to be going through, and to feel secure that the Regency will help them every step of the way, to help to acclimate them, introduce them to people, and take care of them as these physical and cognitive changes happen.
Also, just to get an idea, What makes the Regency different from other senior communities and other senior places?
Well, honestly, we were the first assisted living facility on the North Shore, and we just celebrated our 20th anniversary, and we still maintain the same reputation after all these years because we have such a dynamic staff, and as I was saying to you, that the tenure of our staff is very unusual. I myself have been there 17 years, and I have staff that have been there 18 years and 20 years. We are one single home. We're not part of a large corporation, which also makes us very unique because we're more like a boutique hotel. And because we're one home, large corporations, when they open up a new location, they move their staff around very often. And our families and residents are very confident that they know who is in their home, who's going to take care of them from the beginning to the end. It's very comforting for them. So that in itself makes us very unique.
That's very good that the same staff remains in the same place. Now, what about veterans? Okay, now the veterans of the Korean group or the veterans from areas around the world and the Cold War and etc. We need to know what the benefits are for the veterans what about their spouses or just the spouse? There are several ways in which to look at this. Veterans themselves, or veterans and their wives, or widows of veterans.
When you live in an assisted living home that is under a state licensing from the Department of Health, you are able to receive veterans benefits through a program called Aid in Attendance. And the staff at the Regency works very closely with specialists from the Veterans Affairs to help you to complete the application for veterans benefits. To be accepted for veterans benefits, you need to have been in war 90 consecutive days, at least one of those days during active war period. You have to have had honorable discharge, and you have to have a doctor document that you do need the assistance either of another individual or to be in an assisted living facility. You can apply when you basically have about $50,000 in liquid assets, and a spreadsheet is done to look at your daily what your income is on a monthly basis, and to subtract that from all of your monthly expenses. And when you live in assisted living, the entire cost of the assisted living is part of your expense. When your expenses, of course, are more than what your monthly income is, you are entitled to receive benefits. The spouse can receive benefits. You can receive benefits if you are a widow, and you can also receive benefits as a couple. $1,732 for a single veteran, $2,054 for a couple, and for a widow, it's up to $1,113. So it's wonderful that you can receive this benefit in assisted living.
That's very reasonable, because if you look at the price tag for, let us say, someone who is not a veteran, what then could that mean? That could mean approximately another $2,000 just for a single veteran. For a couple, there is, the way it appears, a $2,000 per month discount. For a widowed spouse, there is again over $1,000, maybe more discount. So you're really looking at a very discounted veterans benefit. That's very interesting. I'm pretty sure that many of our listeners and the audience out there don't know that. So this, I am not sure, does every community of seniors have this at all? I don't think so. Not in my knowledge. Do they have a veterans benefit program?
If you have a license from the Department of Health, the home that you're moving into can help you to receive these benefits. Not every home, lets you know about this benefit, where our veterans are so important to us that we have many specialists come and we perform seminars for our families, residents, and people from the community. We, honor our veterans so much. We even have a veterans wall when you walk in to the lobby of the Regency. We have all our veterans' pictures. on the wall. So, it's a wonderful program. When you apply, from the date that you applied and when you are approved, you do receive a check retroactive from that day as well. So you can get a very big lump sum check, and then you can continue to get monthly benefits. It's a wonderful, wonderful program from the Veterans Affairs.
Okay, so that appears to be a very important point. Now, another important point. What about people who are already ill? They are either diabetic, or they are cancer victims, or they have asthma, or they have other pulmonary problems. What does all that indicate when they are placed in an assisted living? How then are they provided for?
Well, we look at their medical diagnosis, and we make sure that we are able medically to manage our residents. We can do that through the visiting nurse service, through our own nurse, who can also handle residents who are insulin dependent, and we work along with the doctors. If someone really is terminal and they would like to remain in their home, the Regency can work with the hospice care and have that as well, to come in and provide those services so they're able to be in their home with dignity and respect, and be in an environment that they're comfortable with during that time when they have a terminal illness. It's very special. Hospice is a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful program.
Now, for people who are in that line of care where we're talking about hospice and the final days of our lives, what kind of, shall we say, service is provided in the nursing doctor if they need more than just daily care or weekly care? Is there someone there that can give them 24-hour service?
Well, in addition to our staff, we do allow residents to have private care, 24-hour care in their own home, and we make provisions in their apartment. We can put a bed in to their apartment to allow for someone to stay with them. We'll provide meals for the companion as well. So they're able to stay with medical services, with hospice care, with our services, so they are safe and secure 24 hours a day.
There must be an awful lot of paperwork involved in this kind of thing. With the paperwork the way it is, and these number of the people that are going to be in your facility, let us say they don't have the patience, the time, the energy, the intellect, the cognitive skills to be able to deal with paperwork. Who does all the paperwork that is definitely must be required between every kind of organization that's going to contribute to this?
Our case manager, as well as myself and the rest of my administrative team, helps the families to fill out all the paperwork and the admission paperwork coming into the Regency. It's not, many papers for us. We try to keep it as simple as possible, and we work along with the doctors to get all of the medical evaluations and all of their prescriptions. We do whatever we can to simplify. If you're talking it's the veterans, or if you're talking someone is able to get long-term care insurance, we work along with the families and the doctors to help them fill out the forms. We want to make it easy for them. We know that it is so tedious, especially when their children are so busy in their own lives. We try to simplify as much as we can.
Simplification is always the best way to do things. Okay, also, what is important here are the programs that keep the muscles and the bones active. What about yoga, Pilates, any kind of sitting down exercises? Who comes in and does this type of thing?
Well, every morning our activities director does an exercise program, and it's true. There are some people who are able to stand, but a lot of it is exercise when they're sitting down. And we also have a yoga and we have a Pilates instructor come to the Regency. We were just looking in today to get maybe someone who could do a Reiki program. So we try to do all different types of activities. And of course, we do dancing because we have a lot of parties. We get people up and moving as well. We believe so much in the health aspect that we just started, we bought a Vita mix machine, if anyone knows what that is, and we're starting to do fruit smoothies, with fruits and vegetables, mixing it with yogurt and mixing with almond milk, especially on these real hot summer days. Instead of just drinking water, it is so refreshing and so healthy to have these fruit smoothies as well.
Now, do you have like bands or music or musicians coming in to sort of pep up the particular people's moods? Because people of that in my practice, I have noticed that people in their 60s, 70s, and 80s, especially the 80s, have mood swings and mood disorders. So do you have things that are working towards mood enhancement so that they will feel comfortable? A lot of people are worried about when they are in an assisted living program that, gee whiz, it's the same routines every day. What encourages you as the leader there to bring them all together and make them work together so that there is a desire to have a commitment to enjoy life?
We love to have a good time. The staff likes to have a good time too. So we, at least once a week, have parties and entertainment and music and dancing and talent shows, and we keep the place really hopping with a lot of special events to keep everybody very upbeat. We also instituted a program called Regency University, and it's a 6-month semester with unbelievable educational courses for our residents. And at the culmination of our Regency University, we have a graduation ceremony where the mayor of Glen Cove and the director of the senior center come, and they give an inspirational a speech as a keynote speaker and hand out diplomas. So not only are we worried about keeping them energetic and happy with all this entertainment, we're also keeping their mind open and continuing to stimulate them through education.
Please give us your phone number so that we can contact you when we need you. How about that, please?
Phone number is 516-674-3007, the Regency at Glen Cove.
Please repeat it.
516-674-3007.
If you need to contact me so I can contact Beth, Box 37, Post Office Box 37, Locust Valley, New York, 11560. Well, sounds like a happy time. Thank you for watching.